And now it's the turn of one Javier Varguez to step up. Varguez says he hasn't yet seen Michael Carbajal. Well, there's one thing I can guarantee you. If you stay with us for the next 120 minutes, he will. Kind of the yin and the yang over the next 24 hours here in the city of Las Vegas. The yin, the best little man around. You're going to be watching tonight here on Top Rank Boxing as he defends his light flyweight title, Michael Carbajal. Then about 24 hours from now, just up the road. Now, let's talk about Michael Carbajal. He puts his title on the line tonight, and he's a guy that, even though he is a champion, seems to be improving just about every time out.
That's absolutely true. I doubt that any boxer in the last 6 or 7 years in boxing has shown so much improvement from the moment they began their pro career to the time they became champion, and of course now in his case defending his title. Michael Carbajal does everything well offensively. He's got a jab, a hook, an uppercut, throws terrific combinations, and maybe the only thing, if anything, that he says he still has to work on his defense, and that's pretty good too.
You know, and at this juncture, it's kind of our place to sell the opponent every week, and when you look at Javier Varguez, you have to think this is an awfully tall order.
Yeah, I think the problem for Vargas is that not only is he looking up to Michael Carbajal in terms of height, but his style works so well for Carbajal. Vargas is a southpaw who will come in, try and get inside against Carbajal, and try and make this into a brawl, but that is not so easy to do, and I think he's going to be hit with a lot of punches coming in again.
Now for the IBF Light Flyweight Championship. Michael Carbajal, the holder of that belt. It'll be Javier Varguez who will be the man to try to wrest it from him. A case that is easier made than done. Michael Carbajal, the champion, in fact.
For IBF champion Michael Carbajal, the rise to a world title has been a great family story. When he beat Munjai Kittikatesam for the crown, Michael capped off years of hard work with his manager-trainer brother Danny. But even with the successes, he faces the questions about how seldom families work in boxing.
First of all, you know, a lot of them were saying that our relation wasn't going to work, and then they said that his title shot is too early. But they don't see Michael like I see him every day, and I see the improvement. He likes the feeling of being a world champion. And now he's got a son, and his little nephew Danny, they motivate him like crazy. And he doesn't want to lose that.
I think I'm going at a right pace, fighting once a month or every other month. You know, it just depends on if I could see if the fight was, you know, really tough, where I had to, you know, like it was 12 rounds and it was a real tough fight, then, you know, I'd take the time off. But, you know, my last fight didn't last too long, and, you know, I've been fighting like this since I started. Why change it?
Indeed, no changes seem appropriate. The wins and knockouts keep coming, and no end is in sight. Michael Carbajal's an active, winning, and now marketable champion. It's enough to make a family proud.
And here's a look at Michael Carbajal as he makes his way into the ring. You know, it's interesting how you and I always talk about, would a fighter look by this guy, look by that guy? And I frankly have never thought for a minute that Michael Carbajal is the type of guy that would look by any opponent.
You're right. It's the one thing you don't expect from him. And if he gets beat in that ring, it won't be because he's not in shape, and it won't be because he is not focused on what he's supposed to do.
And the point, too, that he just seems to be getting better and better. And again, now I go back to what we spoke of at the very beginning of the show, and that is that Varguez's style just seems made to order for Carbajal.
And should make the things that Michael does well sparkle even more. We'll see.
Let's talk about the keys to victory then. What is it going to take?
Stay focused, which we just talked about, and of course Carbajal usually does. The left hook against the southpaw will be a very good weapon for Carbajal. For Varguez, keep the pressure on. Even though he's going to get hit, he's got to get past that jab and get on the inside, and beware of the uppercut, because in addition to the left hook, when he comes in as a smaller fighter, he could get nailed with that uppercut.
Let's talk about the IBF rules. They do differ in a couple of areas.
There's no 3 knockdown rule here, as there is in Nevada. No standing 8. Only the referee can stop the fight. 10-point system again. 3 judges will score. Fighter can only be saved by the bell in the last round.
And with that, we come to meet these two, and let's do that now with Michael Buck.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Incorporated and the undisputed, undefeated King of Beers, Budweiser, presents the featured bout of the evening. This bout is sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation. President Robert W. Lee, supervisor at ringside, is Hiawatha Knight. It is approved and sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Dr. James Nave, Commissioners Luther Mack, Dr. Elias Ghanem, Bruce Lane, and Nat Carasali. The 3 judges for this bout are Paul Gibbs, Bill Graham, and Al DeVito. Physicians at ringside, Dr. Flip Homansky, Dr. James Wishgame, and Dr. Robert Voy, and the timekeepers are Al Bisick and Jane Broadfoot. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Bally's Casino Resort here in Las Vegas, Nevada, let's get ready to rumble! 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Light Flyweight Championship of the World. The referee for this bout, working for number 85 in a World Championship contest, is Richard Steele. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red trunks with white letters. He weighs an even 107 pounds, from Merida, Mexico. His professional record, 29 victories, 21 by KO, 9 defeats and 1 draw. Let's welcome this KO artist challenger, Javier Varguez. And his opponent fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks with red letters. He also weighs an even 107 pounds, from Phoenix, Arizona. This 1988 Olympic silver medalist is undefeated with a record of 19-0, 13 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the IBF Light Flyweight Champion of the World, Las Manitas de Piedra, Michael Carbajal.
Okay, I spoke to both fighters in the dressing room. Caution them again, and you make sure they obey my commands at all times. If there any questions, shake hands, good luck.
So a look at Michael Carbajal, and here is Javier Varguez. Carbajal, of course, all business. All business this morning when we talked to him. He's been the same guy since the first time we spoke with him before his first professional fight. And the real scare card to any opponent is that he does seem to be improving every time out. He's on a run now of 6 knockouts in a row.
And right away you saw Carbajal looking to land that uppercut. Vargas said he had not seen Carbajal at all, which is interesting since he's the world champion, has been on TV a gazillion times, yet they hadn't really looked at him.
And the knockout ratio, Carbajal 68%, Varguez 54% in his 39 fights. Varguez with 21 knockouts.
There's Vargas trying to work the body, a good idea against Carbajal. Carbajal himself is a terrific body puncher.
Triple right hand by Varguez.
And it is really extraordinary in this day and age for a champion like Michael Carbajal to fight so often, be so active, and give opportunities to all the people that are out there waiting for a title shot.
To Varguez's credit here, he's not just ducking in and trying to get inside at all costs. He's got his gloves up there and he's trying to work his way in, although he's not working behind a jab too much, but he's being cautious at coming in, not just rushing in.
And he's throwing shots to the body and the head. He's trying very hard. I mean, he really is going after Carbajal.
Nice quick right hand, and that stopped Varguez on the way in.
There's so much talk these days in the basketball circles about what'll it take to beat a UNLV. They certainly had the troubles with Georgetown today. You start to think of things. Well, you think in this division, what'll it take to beat a Michael Carbajal? And I'm not sure that a guy coming in will beat him. I think it might be a guy that makes Carbajal come to him in boxes, if that's possible.
And we were talking to him, too, about what's the ideal fight for him. Who would he like to get? There's a big left hand from Varguez, and that drove Carbajal into the corner with another left hand.
There were 4 or 5 very hard punches landed by Vargas. Oh, and another one.
And a right hand behind it, too. Well, if nothing else, I'll tell you, Varguez has gotten Michael Carbajal's attention here in the first round.
This will shorten the length of this bout. Carbajal will go after him in a big way in the next round or two. You can be assured of that because of that. We've seen Carbajal get hurt before. Excellent first round, though, for Vargas. But you see, here comes Carbajal.
Another left hand by Vargas. And first round from the challenger. Listen to Danny Carbajal.
Okay, remember what I told you? He's going to be strong for about 3 rounds. Okay, that's it. Other than that, okay, you had good movement right now, okay? Just keep that movement going, keep them hands just the way you were, okay? Now remember, you have to step over, okay? Step over, don't stay inside his foot. Lo vas a tumbar, okay? You got to aim a little lower, okay?
Here is where Vargas got in with, I think, a good straight left. Well, then he worked to body, and there's a good hook, and there's the left hand coming over. And, you know, a number of those punches getting through. And then later on, the left hand gets in again by Vargas. And look at how he finishes off these combinations. You can see he's a skilled fighter because he's finishing off all those combinations.
You heard Danny Carbajal say, I told you he was going to be strong for the first 3 rounds. A lot of movement, so let's see if Michael Carbajal can do that. Carbajal starts out the second, trying to work the jab, and Vargas goes right down to the body.
You know, one of the things that sometimes gets forgotten, and I guess this is why Carbajal talks about his defense, there's Vargas getting in. Michael Carbajal gets in some very exciting matches, even though he ends up winning them. It was that way against Leon Salazar when he retained his title.
Vargas hurt him a little bit with a right hand a moment ago.
And he is pinning Carbajal on the ropes.
Big uppercut also. Carbajal having trouble getting off the ropes. Now he fights back off the ropes. There's a right hand by Carbajal.
These bouts are always interesting with Carbajal. Sometimes they're really one-sided, but not so often.
2 low blows by Vargas. Draws a warning from Richard Steele. You don't really realize how little these fighters are until you look at Richard Steele in comparison to them.
Steele, a former light heavyweight boxer, towers over these 2 men. Carbajal really using the jab now very, very well.
You can tell the effect of the body shots. Look at the reddening around Carbajal, around the kidney area.
Vargas is throwing good shots. There he is working downstairs very well. Well, this is exactly the way Vargas wants to fight this fight. He's getting nailed plenty, but he's getting his shots in. And Vargas showing a little better defense than you might expect also.
Yeah, dude, did a good job. There he got hit with the right hand, and it drove him off. There's a left hand by Carbajal, and that drove Vargas into the ropes, and another left hand.
And it's the left hook that's doing the job. And probably if there's one mistake Carbajal's made, he hasn't thrown that left hook as much as he might. And you know what? The other thing that his brother was reminding him to do that he's not doing is taking a step to his left.
An uppercut by Carbajal.
When he steps to his left, Carbajal can throw that left hook effectively. Now there you see it. He needs to get his left foot outside the right foot of Vargas. And there when he did it, look how that hook landed.
And an uppercut by Carbajal. Just a little short with that uppercut. Carbajal starting to exert himself here in the last part of this second round.
There's the hook downstairs. Then he needs to come with it upstairs, Carbajal.
And the uppercut again. And he's found a home for that. I think that hurt Vargas. Combination again. I think Vargas is hurt here. End of round 2.
Vargas able to do some damage. There's his own uppercut that landed against Carbajal. That was early in the round. And you see him always finishing off those combinations, even though they didn't land it. Michael Carbajal coming back very strong, though. The hook, an important weapon. That one stunned Vargas. And there he continues with the left hook.
I really think he stung, at the very least, Vargas at the end of that round.
He did, landing a couple of those real good straight right hands. Hey, this is exciting.
Very good first 2 rounds.
You know why? Because it's interesting to watch Carbajal as an offensive machine, and it's also interesting to watch a guy like Varguez, who's giving an excellent effort here tonight, able to land some shots. And he has a plan. Varguez has a plan here. There's the hooks from Varguez. He knows he wants to get those right hooks to the body and the head, and then see if he can land the straight left when he's on the inside.
And the other thing that he's doing is he is coming here with every intention of winning the fight.
Yes.
He's giving himself every chance to do that. Here are the punch profile numbers, and they are very close.
Extremely close, and I ended up giving Carbajal by the narrowest of margin in the first 2 rounds, but they are close rounds.
Varguez not getting inside as easily as he did in the first round.
And I'll tell you what, Michael Carbajal is making a serious tactical error. He's moving to his right, not to his left. And that's what Danny Carbajal keeps reminding him to do.
And again, we hasten to point out the fact that he was training to fight a right-hander and really didn't prepare to fight a left-hander. And here he is, Varguez standing in front of us. That would explain it. There's a huge right hand by Carbajal.
Look at Varguez come back with that overhand left hook. He has fought left-handers. He fought Fernando Martinez in June of last year, and also Luis Manzote in October won both those bouts last year. So he's got some lefties.
There's the uppercut that he missed with the left hand. Varguez still throwing punches. Varguez seems to have slowed about a half a step here. There's a left hook.
That is the combination right there that Michael Carbajal needs to win this bout.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Varguez in fact has slowed a step, Danny Carbajal's a genius. That's exactly what he said.
Yes. I think Carbajal much too conscious of trying to land that straight right hand. He should be taking a step to the left and looking to wing those hooks. The hooks are the punches that have hurt him anyway the most. That's it. Swing to the left and throw those hooks. But let's give Varguez some credit. He has made it difficult for Carbajal to do that.
Absolutely.
And part of it is his ability to get the right movement to make Carbajal more difficult for Carbajal.
He took 2, landed 1, took 3. But a good round really for both men, but a little bit better for Michael Carbajal, who is starting to take a little bit of control.
Here's a combination in the last round that Carbajal wants more of. A double left hook followed with an excellent right hand. And it's that left hook that I think is an underused punch by Carbajal.
Varguez, who told us this morning when we chatted with him, he wants to dedicate this fight to everybody in Merida, Yucatan, Mexico, and to his daughter, Ivenia Cecilia Varguez.
Very nice sentiments on his part, and there's indication in the third round how Carbajal did better. Here comes Varguez.
I'll tell you what, Varguez, win or lose, going to win some friends in boxing circles tonight.
He already has ensured that this performance is a success from his standpoint. Michael Carbajal wading through opponents, and here's Varguez over the first 3 rounds, giving him more than enough to think about.
And Carbajal, should he go on to win this fight, I think is going to learn from this fight also. Remember, he told us today that he'd like to get more rounds. He said, of course, if a knockout's there, I'm going to take it. But he wants the rounds. He wants the work.
I just don't know if he wanted to be hit as much as
I don't think he had that in mind, no.
He's getting nailed with some big punches.
This, of course, for the IBF Junior Flyweight Championship. Junior Flyweight, 106 pounds. Michael Carbajal in the white trunks, the champion of the world after very few fights, relatively speaking. Carbajal, of course, only had 19 fights. He's on a run of 6 knockouts in a row. And the guy he has chosen tonight, Javier Varguez, giving him all he wants and maybe a little bit more. That's the 4th round. Championship fight, of course, scheduled for 12.
But Carbajal has really been effective with the jab. There's the uppercut.
about Varguez, too, he's not wasting punches when he gets in there. He's not just throwing wildly.
He's got an idea of where he wants to land those punches. But Carbajal making it tough on him, too. There's Carbajal going downstairs with the hook. The pace of Varguez is slowing, and there is a good example of why the jabs of Carbajal.
Got hit with 4 jabs, and here's Varguez right back. When he gets Carbajal on the ropes, he's shown a good ability to keep him there. And a low blow.
Go to corner.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's followed about 4 or 5 low blows by Varguez, too.
You okay? Let's go.
Well, Varguez now could have as much time as he wanted, but Richard Steele just said, come on, let's go. Well, easy for Richard to say.
Richard did ask him, and Varguez said, I'll go along. Now a little mugging by Varguez, maybe a sure sign he might really be hurt.
And Carbajal working the jab beautifully right now. Combination again, very sharp.
Those are wonderful combinations.
And we come to the end of the round, and Varguez and Carbajal jawing at each other just a little bit. Varguez right now is angry. I'm not sure that's a good idea. We'll be back.
This is where Carbajal landed one low, and yes, he did in fact land it very low, and it hurt Varguez. And then at the end of the round, you see the fine combination punching of Carbajal. The good jab, the left and the right. That's a tough hombre.
It is, and right now it's an angry hombre, and that doesn't always bode well for a fighter. He was trying to get out of the corner, and one of his trainers had to put a hand on him and say, get back there. Tough guy.
And you are right, he could walk into some things with Carbajal by being too aggressive.
On your card, lopsided for Carbajal, but the fight has not been lopsided.
No, and the first 2 rounds were close, but I ended up giving them to Michael Carbajal. But no question, Michael has taken some measure of control in the last couple of rounds.
Yeah, Varguez having much more trouble getting inside now. Not there that time. It wasn't inside, but it came from outside.
You know what's interesting about Varguez? There's the hook and the left. He works on the inside. That was going to be my point, and then he proved it. He doesn't just stand there. He keeps throwing punches. And Carbajal, when he's pulling out, is getting hit with those. Oh, this is a fascinating boxing match.
Terrific stuff. Terrific stuff.
And what's making it fascinating is the will of Varguez. He has been hit with shots that could have knocked him down or hurt him.
Last time, okay? Come on. Let's go.
Richard Steele says, last time, I'm going to warn you, hit him with 3 low blows that time.
Well, Carbajal hit him with a low blow, too.
You know, and again, I hasten to point out, this is more than just courage on the part of Varguez. He really has, as you said, a plan, and he's giving himself the best possible chance to win the fight.
And it's that courage and his ability to take a shot that's making the plan possible. His number of punches, Varguez, it seems like it's gone down a little bit from the beginning, which would make some sense. But he still is throwing when he gets in there. Carbajal really is fighting his fight, though. Leaning in with him, not using the jab on the outside. There is the combinations. When he's on the outside, he's throwing that jab. Carbajal's very effective.
And he had it going in the last round, but he's forsaken it in this round. There was a right hand. That time he did step outside. And another. Carbajal getting off a little quicker now, too.
I mean, it's early in the bout, but I'll tell you, Javier Varguez might be a guy you just don't knock out.
Left hand again by Varguez, but he took the left from Carbajal in return.
Carbajal is hitting him with some very good power punches.
Carbajal, as you can see right there, getting off first now, much quicker. And Varguez just a little bit in this round is pushing his punches now. There was a right hand by Carbajal.
Carbajal is as nice a combination as you are likely to see.
Another good left hand, very sharp. Carbajal seemingly starting to take control.
You won't kill the guy, all right? You can't take no more, Michael. Just relax. Just keep giving them same angles. Give me the end swell. You're doing good, Michael, okay? He's throwing a lot, but he ain't. You just keep them hands up, okay? Todo lo que cuando estás tirando despacito, boom, boom, boom. Después, that's when you load up on his ass, okay?
We've talked on numerous occasions about Michael Carbajal's corner. Very calm, one voice, that of Danny Carbajal, and it's usually the one or two pieces of advice he gives always seem to be right on.
Danny Carbajal is a very fine trainer and a good tactician in the corner. Here's Michael Carbajal showing you the combinations and the quick punching. And those are strong jabs. I mean, most of those are landing, and they're landing very well.
So we start the 6th round. Really entertaining fight so far.
27-year-old Vargas is showing us why he is rated in the top 10 and why he's a contender.
About a 5-punch combination there, too. Uppercut got there. Right hand over the top of that. Little headbutt in there. A left hand. And Carbajal gets out of it.
Look at that body work. That's nice body work by Vargas.
The other thing that strikes me, Al, is you and I talk to the fighters in the morning of the fight, and oftentimes you talk to somebody, and in the first 10 seconds of a conversation, you say to yourself, this guy has no chance. And I remember coming away from a conversation with Vargas through an interpreter, of course, he doesn't speak English, and thinking exactly what I'm seeing out here. This guy really thinks he can win this fight.
And, you know, we were talking to him about the fact that he was a lefty. Would that present problems for Carbajal? He was almost insulted. He said, he was telling us basically, that's not what's going to cause problems for Carbajal, me being a lefty. I'm going to cause problems for him. I have other things I can do. And by golly, he's showing that. I think the left-handed style has something to do with it, and some of what Carbajal isn't doing to counteract that style, but still, Vargas himself, it's his toughness and his ability to punch that's making the difference and keeping him in this bout.
And I'm sure Michael Carbajal, should he go on to win this fight, if he talks to you after the fight, will tell us exactly that this guy, if not the toughest guy that he's fought, he's got to be right up there.
Oh, for sure. And you see, look what Carbajal was doing there, boxing with him. When he does that, Vargas is hopelessly lost. But when he lays on the ropes and stays inside, Vargas has an excellent chance to do well.
Vargas still throwing punches and still with some steam.
And if you want to play devil's advocate here, what about those body shots? Will they have a toll on Michael Carbajal, who in his last 4 fights has not gone over 5 rounds?
Sixth round, so still a long way to go in this one. There's a left hand by Vargas that drives Carbajal back. And he's still able to push Michael Carbajal backward.
This might be the best round Vargas has had in the bout. Not to say Carbajal hasn't done some good things.
Go to corner. 1 point.
Took a point away that time, and that really is going to hurt Vargas.
And I got to tell you, as much respect as I have for Richard Steele, that wasn't a low blow. I don't think the one that he ended up taking the point away. And I got to say something else. Michael Carbajal is showing his share of low blows also.
There's a timeout here, and even though the bell rung, there's
Give him some tape.
I guess they're going to let the round end. Now, usually that's a timeout, and there was about 10 seconds left in the round, but they're going to say, okay, that's it. That point being deducted really hurts, Al.
Tremendously, because that was a round in which probably Vargas won his first round of this bout.
Give me some water.
Let's take a look at it, see what you think. Yes, it was low. I stand corrected. Not a flagrantly low blow, but probably was low. So
the kind of low blow, though, that had Richard Steele not have said before, I'm only going to give you one more time, it would not have been called.
The only point I would make is that they've both thrown a lot of low blows. And in fact, wasn't it Vargas who earlier was hit with one so low that he required at least a little time to recover?
Seconds down.
Round number 7. Vargas trying to pick up where he left off. In the 6th round, let's take a look at the punch profile numbers if we can. Carbajal, busier, Varguez having a great round.
What we talked about, it was close, and I would have given the round to Vargas. I made it even because of the point being deducted. Now, will this make Vargas gun-shy about going to the body? As far as I'm concerned, it shouldn't, because let's be honest, he ain't going to win a decision anyway here, unless he won every single round from now on. So he might as well keep going to the body.
So on your card now, it's a 5-point fight.
Yeah, because of that point being taken away, and I made the last one even.
But we're a couple of rounds ago, we were talking about the fact that Carbajal was starting to dictate the tempo of the fight. I don't think that's happening now. Varguez is able to back Carbajal up.
You hit on something early. If Vargas had a more effective jab that he could work his way in with, I think he'd really be a much better boxer.
Got there with a right hand. This, of course, 12 rounds for the IBF Junior Flyweight Championship of the World. Michael Carbajal, a favorite. Let me interrupt just for a minute here, Al. You saw what I saw. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's another low blow by Carbajal, and I'm not trying to criticize Michael. I'm just saying it's the style, the way these two fighters are interacting. A lot of punches are straying low.
This is the 7th round of the championship. Carbajal in the white. He's the champion, of course, and a very tough customer by the name of Javier Varguez in the red trunk.
When Carbajal moves and boxes, he has this fight totally his own way. When he stays on the inside and slugs with Vargas, Vargas can do well.
Actually, in close that time, Carbajal got the best of it.
Life is filled with these little surprises, isn't it? And for Michael Carbajal, his surprise came in a little package, but boy, it's not a pleasant one. Supposed to be just another day at the office, Michael Carbajal.
There's a low blow, and now let's see if that costs Carbajal. And it will, I think.
No, I don't. Yes. Good for you, Richard Steele. Good for you.
1 point. Come on, stay in the corner. Go to the corner.
That's the 2nd time now.
All right, come on.
And you know, a lot of this is not being caused by these fighters being dirty fighters, or it's just the way they're interacting in that ring and the positions of their bodies. And they're both body punchers, Barry. They don't want to give up their body work, and so those punches are straying low.
Well, as you said, that's a good even-up call. Better of that exchange.
Yes, but Vargas landed what might be his best right hook of the fight.
Well, another round that is very indicative of how this fight has been, and that is virtually non-stop action from both men. We'll be back.
Here's where Michael Carbajal had one of his punches stray very low. Now, there's one that's marginal, but that one more than marginal, and that really hurt Vargas. And Richard Steele, who had earlier taken a point away from Vargas, took one away from Michael Carbajal. Very interesting.
Round number 8. Each man has taken the other's best so far. Nice combination by Carbajal. Numbers in the 7th round, and they were almost exactly the same as the 6th round.
Very close. Now, I ended up giving that round to Vargas. And then with the extra point, it ended up being a 2-point round for him. In this first round, there were some great shots landed by Carbajal in the beginning part of this round.
We started to mention before, Al, as they keep talking about making a Michael Carbajal-Scotty Olsen fight. And when you look at Vargas and look at Scotty Olsen, you're really looking at mirror images.
Well, and I'll tell you what, if I'm Scotty Olsen, Carvajal's got to step up in weight to fight Scotty Olsen. If I'm Scotty Olsen, he and Richie Sandoval and Bruce DeMastrous are going to wear this tape out. They're going to watch it over and over again and think of him as a right-handed version of Vargas. They got to love this. Now, to me, it's a tactical error for Carbajal to be laying in like this. When he boxes a little bit and stays on the outside and throws the jab, he is much more effective.
But now let me ask you the rhetorical here, though. Is he just tired? Is he just
Well, that's a possibility. But he got tired because he started doing this too much. tired, guess what? He's got a problem here. Because this guy's going to keep coming after him. Varguez has gone 12 rounds on a couple of occasions. He's capable of doing it.
Right at the moment, though, Varguez pawing a little bit and throwing a lot of arm punches. Right at the moment, I backed Carbajal up with that right hand.
Varguez was knocked out by Humberto Gonzalez, a terrific boxer, back in 1988 in Mexico.
That's not a great embarrassment.
No. But Michael Carbajal wonders how that guy did it, because he has hit him with some huge shots.
This round, though, Varguez not doing much. He's pushing a lot more, pushing both of his punches and just leaning on Carbajal.
Carbajal shots, too, though, not with as much steam, I don't think, as they had before.
Of course, oftentimes you'll see a fighter do this. It happens all the time on Top Rank Boxing. A fighter kind of take a round off.
But you know what has to concern them? The technique of Carbajal slipping just a bit, and he's taking those shots. In other words, Carbajal isn't throwing those punches as straight as he was, looping them a little bit more.
So we come down to the end of round number 8. Both men still there. Both men still throwing punches. We'll be back.
Here is where Varguez landed one of a number of left hands. Now, it's delivered in an awkward fashion, but it gets there. And Javier Varguez, tell you what, nobody expected him to be here to this 9th round.
I think Michael Carbajal in particular.
Yeah. He's not only there, he is fighting and fighting hard.
And he's catching most of Carvajal's punches early in this 9th round on the gloves. Both of those. And on your card, Al, remember that 1-point deduction has narrowed this gap a great deal. You gave the last 2 rounds, I know, to Varguez.
Yeah, now let me tell you what the key thing that might make another judge's card different than mine, the 2-point edge for Carbajal. Back in the round where Carbajal, oh my, look at this. Beautiful combinations by Varguez.
And a big right hand, too.
And Michael Carbajal having a hard time answering those.
Don't hold.
What could make it different is in that round where Carbajal got the benefit of a point being deducted from Varguez, I made the round even because I thought Varguez won it. If the judges thought that Carbajal won it, that would end up being a 2-point round for Carbajal. That could make it a bigger difference.
So it's very hard, we've mentioned on numerous occasions, for a challenger, especially a challenger who is a long shot challenger like Varguez, to win a decision over the defending champion.
If he could do it, I really think that for Michael Carbajal right now, the mission is to move a little, jab, throw the straight right hand, and not lay in like this. But as you said, maybe he's just too tired to do that. Every time he does it, look at there. Varguez has no defense. And no answer.
Varguez the sharper of the 2 punches right at the moment, too.
Yes.
Now, as this round progresses, Carbajal starting to score a little bit, too.
Because he's from the outside. He's standing on the outside using the jab. It's a different bout when he does this. And just a little movement's all he needs against Varguez. But then eventually he tires, and here, Varguez gets in and works for the body and the head.
Left hand again by Varguez. He lunged with that one a little bit, and Carbajal retaliated.
What a test for Michael Carbajal.
Yeah, in retrospect, I'm sure he's going to appreciate it. Right at the moment, I'm sure he wishes he was back home.
Absolutely. Nothing is phasing Varguez at this point. Good combinations by Carbajal. This will be a tough round to judge, a very tough round. And where's the body work of Carbajal? He has stopped his body work. Even Varguez has allayed his body punching a little bit more to go to the head.
Well, it could be, too, that both of them are afraid to lose another point. Figuring a point at this juncture, better off just to forget about the tactics. Well, another very close round. Tough fight to score. End of 9. We're going 12. It's for the title. We'll be back. They're there. They play Cincinnati tomorrow night at 7:30. Look at the action.
Billy Tubbs in Oklahoma not used to losing 14 games, but Michael Carbajal not used to getting that kind of punishment from an opponent. A good 10th round for Varguez.
Go to corner. Come here.
And we got a little problem with the glove of Michael Carbajal.
Come on, you guys. Stay in the corner. Stay in the corner.
Richard Steele directing traffic here.
get that one again.
The face of a man who knows this is not like all his other matches in the last year or so. Vargas does not look tired, Barry.
No, he doesn't.
He does not look tired.
In fact, even the round that we talked about he might be taking off, on your card you had him winning.
Yeah, I eventually scored it for him.
Good right hand by Carbajal.
Excellent right hand, but he is not hurting Vargas with that. He cannot hurt him enough. Had him hurt, I think, in the third round, and beyond that, I don't know.
In round number 9, let's take a look at the numbers on our punch profile. Carbajal very active, and look at this.
Another point.
1 point.
Wow.
That hurts. That hurts.
1 point. You gotta keep him up or you're gonna be disqualified. Stay in the corner. Okay?
He doesn't understand what Richard Steele's saying.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't speak any English at all.
But he knows what points being taken away are.
And that's a crucial point.
Yeah, it really is. I understand very well what Richard Steele's trying to do. He wants to keep control of this bout, but boy, that's a tough break for Vargas.
And with little guys like this too, your zone of attack is a lot smaller. I mean, you're just going to see a lot of low blows with flyweights and bantamweights.
You can see Vargas consciously thinking about whether he should go to the body or not.
Don't hold it, don't hold it.
Yeah, nice jab by Vargas coming in. We haven't seen that much.
Trying to find another gear here.
Both men are tired, and I'll tell you what, both men have lost a little on their technique, but Carbajal has lost even more in his technique because his technique was better to begin with. And I am sure Carbajal does not really want to be laying in there with him like this, but that's maybe all he can do right now. There, though, look, when he moves and gives him jabs and movement, he's very effective, Carbajal is.
Pushing left hand and another. And Carbajal's hurt. And another combination by Vargas. But see, Vargas needs all of this just to have the round.
Just to get even. He has to win the round to be even in this round. And the key thing here is that when he counterpunches, it is difficult for Carbajal to keep him off. He's not hurting Vargas.
And there was a low blow from Carbajal. Which only drew a warning, not a point.
It's been a rugged match.
I don't know. Did he do enough to win that round? How'd you see that, Al?
I made the round even again, 9-9. Vargas won that round, in my opinion. The point made it an even round.
Just take a good deep breath. Cuando lo agarras adentro, Michael, go the left, the right, go another left, and change it. Okay? Right, left, right. Okay? Cuando él viene y comienza a tirar, es cuando ya se está cansando. Okay? You got to set yourself. You set yourself, and then you go to that body. Okay?
Here's where the point was taken away. You may not see completely the low blow. There it is in there. I'll tell you what, there were some glancing low blows in there. Here's where Vargas might have stunned Carbajal.
I think he did.
A couple of left hands in there.
11th round. We're going 12. It's for the junior flyweight titles.
Pretty interesting.
Very. And this isn't a case, I don't believe, of what Michael Carbajal has not done. It's a case of what Javier Varguez has done. Your card.
I have it close. Carbajal ahead by only 1 point. And of course, we want to caution you, the judges may very well be seeing this difference. Well, they may see it as a bigger margin for Carbajal.
Well, and once again, it is just a fact, and I don't blame this on anything, but it is a fact that the champion, when it's a close round, the champion is more likely to get it on the judges' card, because judges oftentimes watch one fighter and not both.
It seems that way. And in truth, Michael Carbajal has done many good things in this bout. I'll tell you what, the one place I would fault him, though, and I can't fault Danny Carbajal because I believe he's told him this a number of times. Some of the strategy Michael has used in the ring tonight has not been good. He has not been moving to his left and throwing enough left hooks. He has not been jabbing and staying outside enough. And what he ended up doing was fighting Vargas' fight and giving him a chance to win. There's the good combination punching by Michael Carbajal, landing a lot of punches there.
And once again, though, doing it when he's at long range, and a good uppercut there. Looks like Varguez is getting tired. He comes back with a nice rally and some effective punching.
A lot of those missing by Carbajal. Here comes Vargas back again. What a tough, pesky guy. I mean, he gets hit with these shots, keeps coming back and landing. And part of the reason he's landing, Barry, is I don't think Carbajal has seen that many boxers that follow through in all their combinations the way Vargas does. He doesn't just throw one or two punches. He keeps punching.
This is one of the first rounds in the fight, though, and the first times in the fight that I've seen Michael Carbajal back Vargas up with a punch.
Yeah, it has been a pretty good round for Carbajal. He's landed a lot of shots here at a time when he desperately needed it. And also, Michael has found the uppercut again.
You might have heard Danny Carbajal telling him to change up. Don't give him the same patterns all the time. He's done that well in this round. It's a good round for Michael Carbajal. And he may need it. When we come back, there will be 3 minutes of boxing left for this championship. Don't go away. Interesting, Al. The advice given by Danny Carbajal in his corner is you have the fight won, play it safe. Now, that's interesting, I think.
Well, they may feel that, but in giving that advice, it's the right advice anyway. I think you should be outside boxing and trying to move him around the ring and land and peck away and keep him from Vargas from landing something that would hurt him. I'm not sure I agree that he has to fight won. I think he might be ahead, but it's not a lock.
12th and final round of a great fight.
And boy, did Javier Varguez want to get out there? Yeah.
He's been like that the whole fight. His people have had to hold him back every round.
Well,
on your card through 11 rounds now, Carbajal with a 2-point edge, which would mean that Vargas would have to, at the very least, have a knockdown to get a piece of the decision.
Yes, and a recap of the fact that 3 points have been taken away. 2 from Vargas and 1 from Carbajal for low blows. Plays a big factor. Now, there's some very nice combination punching by Carbajal. Expected this bout to go 12 rounds, and for Vargas to not only be there at the end of 12, but be in the hunt.
And I think, candidly, the guy that expected it at the very least is the guy in the white trunks.
And let me tell you, he hit Vargas with some hellacious shots over the first 2 rounds, had him hurt in the third, which I have to tell you secretly in my mind was the round when I thought this fight might end before it started. But no, Vargas was going nowhere. And Javier said, I'm in here to stay, and I'm going to make a big effort to win this fight.
I can't imagine anybody in Carvajal's mind having fought him any tougher than this man tonight.
No, oh no. That would be impossible.
Nice shot there with a right hand, and that backs up Carbajal.
Michael holding on a little bit. There's swelling around the right eye of Carbajal. His face, you can see the impact of what's happened to him. His right eye is closing, I think.
Yeah, they've had the cold pack on it for the last several rounds, in between rounds.
That's from those overhand lefts that Vargas is landing.
Steele wisely did not take a point that time, even though there were a couple low blows.
See, this is good tactics by Vargas to a point, except the problem is he might need a knockout to win, but it might be enough to get him around, although Carbajal had his good moments early in the round.
Varguez hit him with an uppercut, but not with mean intentions. 20 seconds left in this one, and they may be 106 pounds, folks, but these are warriors.
And it is a huge upset just that Vargas has gone the distance and that he is close. And it isn't necessarily to the detriment of Carbajal, maybe strategically, but not from a heart or courage standpoint or skill level.
It's over. Listen to the crowd.
Well, that man thinks he won it, and so does Michael Carbajal.
Well, it was a terrific fight, whatever way you cut it.
An excellent bout, and as Carbajal walks around this ring, and so does Vargas, Carbajal may also be thinking, has this tarnished me as the first $1 million fighter in this weight category?
Well, when we come back, we will find out. There's a man who thinks he won, and the other end of the ring, a man who thinks he nosed him out. We'll be back to find out. All right, let's get to Michael Buffer for the decision. Michael?
Ladies and gentlemen, before I give the official scoring, let's have a round of applause for both champion and challenger. One hell of a fight here at Bally's Casino Resort. We go to the scorecards. Al DeVito scores the bout 116 to 110. Paul Gibbs and Bill Graham both score the bout 116 to 109 for the winner by unanimous decision, and still light flyweight champion of the world, Las Manitas de Piedra, Michael Carbajal.
I don't know, Al.
Well, I think the margin was too big. Michael Carbajal might have won by 2 or 3 points, maybe 4, whatever.
Close fight. Michael Carbajal wins it close in our eyes, not in the eyes of the judges, but the champion is still a champion, and we'll talk to him.
Back here in Las Vegas with Michael Carbajal, who defended his title successfully, but a couple of things. First, this had to be the toughest guy you faced.
Yes, he was. It was a tough fight, and I thought I won a real clean fight, and I had a lot of headbutts, and he landed a few shots, and that was the toughest fight I had, but you know.
Did you think you won it by this much? By what the judges said?
I did. I blocked a lot of shots, and you know, I did some pretty good defense, and I'd just like to say happy birthday to my sister Mary, and hi, Mike Wangel.
All right. Congratulations, Michael, on defending your title. Michael Carbajal does it, but he has to do it the hard way. Let's go back to Barry at ringside.
All right, thanks.